How do babies acquire native language speech sounds? Imagine a tiny person starting their journey into the world of sounds and words. How do they go from making simple noises to speaking like everyone around them? It's a fascinating process that begins right at birth and continues through early childhood. Babies start by making basic sounds like cries, coughs, and vowel-like noises such as ooh and These sounds are not tied to any language but are the foundation for later speech development. Around 4 to 6 months, babies begin to babble, mixing vowels and consonant-like sounds. You might hear them repeat syllables like baba or dada, which is their way of practicing the sounds they hear daily. This babbling stage is essential because it helps babies experiment with different speech sounds and build their vocal skills. By about 6 months, babies start recognizing the specific sounds of their native language. They begin to focus on the sounds that are important in their environment and tune out others. This process is called phonetic tuning, and it helps them learn which sounds matter in their language. Different languages have different sets of sounds, called phonemes, and babies learn to identify and produce these sounds based on what they hear most often. The order in which babies acquire speech sounds is quite predictable. They usually learn vowel sounds first because they are easier to produce. Consonants come next, starting with nasal sounds like M and N, then glide sounds like W and J, and finally stop consonants such as P, B, T, and D. These stops involve building up air pressure in the mouth and releasing it quickly, which babies learn to do with practice. More complex sounds like F, S, SH, and R develop later because they requiring more precise control of airflow and tongue placement. Sounds made with the tongue tip tend to be acquired later than those made with the lips. Throughout early childhood, children's ability to produce these sounds becomes more consistent and accurate. By the time they reach school age, most have mastered nearly all the speech sounds of their native language. However, some sounds like R, L, and S may take longer to perfect. From a phonetics perspective, babies learn to produce speech sounds by experimenting with their articulatory mechanisms, using their lips, tongue, vocal cords, and airflow, while listening carefully to the sounds around them. Their brain's critical periods for language acquisition mean that consistent exposure to native language sounds is vital during early years. Getting the hang of speech sounds is not just about making sounds correctly. It also helps children form words and sentences. Clear pronunciation influences how well they are understood and how effectively they communicate. Supporting this process involves talking to babies often, exposing them to rich language, and responding to their vocalizations. Early recognition of speech sound difficulties can help guide support so children develop clear, effective speech skills that last a lifetime.